golden and silver look using layer styles. The first thing, you are going to create a new document. It will be HD and these settings. I will keep the background white, and then you are going to create our text. Let's lock the background and go to the text tool and write any word that you want. I will write golden, and I'm using this Cocoa Goose font. I will write it all in the capital letters, and then I will just align it in the middle and make it a bit bigger. Like this is good. And then we are going to convert this to the smart object, so later we can change the text as we want without losing the effect. Double click here to bring back the layer styles, and the first thing we are going to add is the color overlay. Click on it and then go to the blending mode, make it normal, and then you're going to change the color to something golden. I'm just trying to find what color will resemble the golden, and then you try to copy the color code. Okay, that's good. Make the opacity 99 or 100 would be good. And then we are going to the inner shadow. Let me zoom in first. I will press on the Command and plus on the keyboard to zoom in. And then the blending mode will be color dodge. And the opacity, bring it down to 43 or 46. Change the color to white or a bit grayish white. Like this is good. And then the angle. Disable the global light. And make the angle 145. Yeah, that's good. And then you're going to play with the distance, choke and size. Make the choke 0. The size will be 7. And the distance 5. I think we are good now. And the counter quality, you will keep it the same. Let's go to the Bevel Emboss. The style will be inner bevel. The technique will be smooth. And the depth will be somewhere around 126. Direction will be up, and the size we are going to increase it. To 250, you will keep it like that. And the softness will be 0. Disable the global light here. I'm just trying to see what will work for me. You can also experiment. Maybe your gold design will be better than mine. But you try to copy these settings if you want the same results as mine. I think that's good. 144 and 37. And then we will go to the highlight and shadows. Change it to the color dodge. I forgot to change the glass counter. Change it to the first one, like this. And then now we can play with the highlights. Bring it down. Okay, 50 is good. And for the shadow, we don't need it. I'm going to bring down the opacity to 0. Perfect. Now let's go to the stain. And for the stain, you're going to change the color to grayish white. Something around here. Sorry. Bring the opacity down. I think 25, 26 is good. Change the angle to 49. Make the distance 28 and the size. Let's see what will work for us. Make it 128. The glass counter will be the same. And now we are done with this. Let's click OK. And then we are going to change the background to something darker to see our gold better. I'm going to use the shape layer, rectangle tool, change the color to the dark gray, like this, and bring it down as a background, then lock it so we don't accidentally click it. As you can see here, we already have a very nice golden look, but we need to add the extrusion to it. To do that, I'm going to duplicate our text, and for this one I'm going to clear the layer styles on it. Right click and clear the layer styles. Come over here, and like this we removed everything from it. For this one I'm going to Command G to group it, and I will name it F for the front. And now you will work with this one. I'm going to duplicate it for 22 times to make the extrude. So I'm going to enable the front and Command J to duplicate it. And then I'm going to move it to the left side. With the arrow keys, I will only press the arrow key one time. So each copy that we make, we will move it one time. This is for this one. Then Command J again to duplicate it. Before I move the third copy, I want to arrange them. Bring them down like this. And now go to the third copy. Now press the left arrow key for one time. And we are going to do the same for all of the copies. For the fourth copy, I will bring it down like this, and the left arrow key. For this one as well. So the process is the same. If you want, you can watch me doing this, or you can also skip this section. So as you can see, for each copy, I'm pressing the left arrow key for one time to make this precise extrude. Let's have a look. We need more copies. Now we have 20 copies. It looks good, but I think we need one or two more. Let's make another one. And that's it. Now you'll disable the front one, double click on it to bring the layer styles. First thing, you'll add the stroke. For the stroke size, I'm going to use a big number. I want to cover the whole text. Go to the position, make it inside, and then increase the size. This size is only temporary. We are going to change it to make it only borders, but this is just to see the look. So the opacity will be 100, and the fill, if it's on the color, make sure it is in the gradient. Yeah, it's usually in the color. Now make it gradient, and use any of the two colors gradient from the basics. I'm using this one. And then we are going to change these colors. For the color, I'm going to use the same yellow that we used in the first text. I'm going to it, double click on it to bring the layer styles, go to the color overlay, click on it and copy this color code. And now let's go back to our layer. Sorry, not this one. Double click, go to the stroke, and here we are going to paste our color code. For the other black, I will do the same. And this white, you are going to double click on it, paste the same color code, and then you are making it lighter like this. By the way, to add a new handle for the color, you just click on an empty place. It will make a new handle for a new color. When you click on the handle, you will have these dots to expand. As you can see, I accidentally clicked on an empty place and I created a new handle. Let's make this a bit darker. Copy the color code and you're going to paste it here. I think like this we are good. Click OK. We're going to change the style to the shape brushed, like this. And the angle, keep it the same. Now we will move to the Bevel Emboss, enable it. Change the style to the stroke emboss. The technique will be smooth. And the depth, let's increase it. 168 is good. The direction will be up. And the size somewhere around 80. 81 is good. Softness, increase it to 30. And the angle, keep it the same. We're going to use these 145 and 37. For the glass counter, use the fourth one in the second row. And then for the highlight and shadow, make both of them color dodge. Increase the highlights and the shadows a bit. So the highlight 71 and the shadow 45. For the counter, change the counter to the third one in the second row. Increase the range. And the last thing we're going to do is to go to the stroke. Let's go back to the stroke and we will make it 30. Like this, we have the effect only on the borders. One last thing to do here, just double click to bring back the layer styles. I think the highlights are too harsh. I need to decrease them a bit. We are going to the Bevel Emboss, and for the highlights, I'm going to bring down the opacity. Okay, 41 is good. Press OK. And then we are going to right click on it, copy the layer style. And then I'm going to select all of these layers, click on the first one and hold shift, and then paste the layer style. Now we have the same effect on all of them. If we enable the front one, we will have a very nice golden look text. Just like this, we have our golden text. Let's do some organization. I'm going to select all of these layers, click the first one, hold shift, and click the last one. Then Command G to make them group and name it B for the back. I'm going to the front one and I will duplicate this one. Duplicate it. Move it out from the group. Sorry. And then right click to remove all of the layer styles. And then you'll disable it. This one is only for the placeholder. You're going to name it, change the text. Rename it to change the text. This layer, the purpose for it is just to double click on it and change the text. Now if you double click on it, we can now change this to the silver. I'll move it in the middle. Press Command S for save. And now if you go our document, it has been changed. Okay, let's group this F and B. Select both of them, Command G to group them. I will name it text. And now we will use some adjustment filters or effects to change the color to the silver. I'm using hue and saturation. Bring it here over the text and bring down the saturation to 0. Don't forget to use the clipping mask. You can use this button to make a clipping mask for the text only. Let's play with this and see what will change. Okay, I will Control Z because we don't want to play with this now. Okay, for this is enough. Let's add another adjustment effect. We are going to add levels, make it clipping mask, and move this handle to the side to make it brighter. And then we'll move this toward the right. Like this, we have a silver look. Let's bring this also down a bit. I'm just trying to see what will look the best. but right now we already have a silver look. It's too bright now. My computer is getting slow now because we had many copies. But that's good, use these settings. Now we have the silver look. Okay guys, the last thing I'm going to do is to change the name of this effect to silver. So we'll just enable and disable them to change between the silver and gold. And like this, we came to the end of this lesson. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I'll see you in the next lesson. Before you go from this lesson, there's one last thing I want to do just to see if it will look nicer. I'll change the background to something darker. Sorry, it's locked. Unlock it. Double click on it. Make it darker. And here we go. See you in the next lesson.